Hello, Dai here from Timeslip Softworks. Welcome to the 16th development video for Vigilantes, in which I'll cover the changes which have been made to the 5th alpha release. The 5th alpha should be available this evening or tomorrow, depending on if I encounter any more bugs in the testing that still has to be done. Now, one significant change in this update is the addition of active perks. Now these perks are different in that they don't provide a passive boost. They give you an ability which you can activate in combat. Now, I've added the basic system for activating these perks, and I've also added the first two perks. This is Adrenaline. It's a placeholder for now. The graphics is a placeholder, and this perk was suggested by Omega Kill, so thank you for the suggestion. I think it's actually a very good idea. What it does is it gives you plus 50% AP for this turn, but you lose your next turn. And this could be useful in situations where you have a high threat enemy, such as the chaplain up there. That's going to do a lot of damage to your characters in the next turn if you don't take him out, and say he's quite low on health. So this might give you enough AP to take him out and save all the hit points for your characters in the next turn. Now, I may adjust the values. 50% may not be high enough, because you do have to spend a perk point to gain access to this ability. Now, the one I'm going to activate now is Taunt. This increases enemy aggression towards the character for 2 turns. And I'm going to just go and do that now. You can see that the icon is active here. Now there may be an animation or an effect or perhaps a voice clip played when you actually use Taunt in the game. This is a very provisional implementation just to kind of get it, to get it working. Now I'm going to play out these. I'm not going to bother attacking. I'm just going to play out to see what happens now. Typically, what should happen in this situation is that any enemies that are close enough, like Sam, the main character, he's the best melee fighter. Alina Fury is probably the weakest, and Emilia de Soto is in the middle. So any characters that are within, I think these characters have 5 AP, so that character that attacked there really should have moved here and attacked Alina Fury. But because of the taunt, taunt is increasing when the AI basically figures out what orders it can potentially do. Sam has a higher aggression rating, which is a multiplier, so it takes the order score and multiplies it. So this makes attacking him more appealing for the computer for this turn, since he's taunted them. So he's still taunting the enemies, and I'm just going to heal him because I think he's probably going to take a bit of a beating on this turn. And I'm going to skip the other characters' turns. So as you can see, all the characters so far have attacked him, and this would be a little unusual because they will always prioritize getting at least one attack in the turn. And if they have enough AP to move to another character as that character did, they will typically do that, as there's a greater damage potential from attacking a character with a lower melee skill. There's a better chance to hit and a better chance to do damage. And so as you can see, they're all attacking him, even though they're basically adjacent to less melee proficient characters, and even she is. Yeah, so she didn't have enough AP to close the distance. That is why she wouldn't have attacked Sam. Now the taunt is no longer active at this point. One thing this could actually be good for is, if you have a ranged character with an assault rifle, you may remember from previous development videos that there are certain penalties for assault rifles and sniper rifles if enemies get close. So this could be pretty good if you want to keep the enemies away from these kind of more ranged focused characters, or to pull attention away from a character that's just about to be KO. I'm just going to skip the turn now. As you can see, taunt is no longer active, so we should see a change in what's happening here now. So basically any of these characters that have enough movement AP to get to another character in attack will generally move to the less melee skilled characters. Or he didn't, because his path was blocked by the character that just moved. So you can see that's considerably change. That gives you the ability to considerably change how a battle plays out tactically. All those enemies were attacking this character. They've all now moved down, and if these characters move down further, the top ones will also move down to attack these. The next ability I'm going to show you is the adrenaline. This will give you extra AP for this turn, but you're going to have to skip the next one. Now, it's not particularly useful here, because I can't actually take down this character. And so it wouldn't be particularly... If this guy was down to, say, I don't know, maybe 14 health or 15 health, it could allow you to bring him down in the one turn, and prevent him from doing any more damage. Another thing I'd like to show you is the addition of blood effects in the most recent, which will be available in Alpha 5. Now they may not be particularly visible because of the dark environment, but we'll just we'll see how it goes. So you should be able to see them there. They'll be more visible in a daytime mission, but they're in a kind of blood's basically been added in a kind of basic way now. And I'm going to load back to my autosave to show you the rest of the additions. Probably the single biggest addition in this update has been Armour. Now I've been meaning to add Armour for quite some time, and I was kind of struggling to make a decision on the best way to implement it. How whether armors should be crafted or bought or both, whether armors can be upgraded, how they can be upgraded, what components are in armor. So I've made a few decisions in that regard now. So you can see that armor is now available for crafting. Now the crafting skill required is lower than it will be in the game, and this graphic is actually from a more advanced armor type. And I will replace it with a more basic one later on. This is, say, a level 4 armor out of maybe 5 or 6 levels. We can see the components we need. We need 2 Teflar, 4 padding, and 4 carbon fiber. So I'm just going to go ahead and purchase these now. I can go to the shop, buy. Get 2 of these, 4 of these, and we need 4 of these also. Okay, so go back to crafting now, and we can craft this armor. It'll be placed in your home inventory. You can look at the stats of the armor. It gives you 3 armor, and that factors into making it more difficult to hit in both melee and ranged attacks. If you look on the character main screen here, it'll tell you the armor class is 6. Now this is the character's armor class based on their fleetness, and 3 is the bonus provided by the armor. Now these figures may vary, they're provisional for now. You have 8% blunt resist, or more specifically it's melee resist. You've 8% firearm and 8% explosive resist. And one of the things I kind of wanted to do with the game is I wanted to make crafting sort of pretty important. Not a necessary skill, but one that is certainly worth considering developing to a pretty high degree. So what I've done to make crafting more useful, apart from just crafting the basic armor, you can also upgrade it. You can upgrade the protection against particular damage types. And you can see here there are 3 options available. This is the melee option. It increases the melee defense, this increases the firearm defense and the explosive defense. So we'll go and upgrade one of them now. We need 2 padding to do that. So we'll go ahead and purchase that now. And we will go back to the crafting screen. Actually, if you want upgrade armor, you have to go into the button on the armor here, the upgrade button. And we were going to upgrade melee, so we'll go ahead and do that. And now you can see there's 10% blunt resist. I will change that to melee resist. That's not entirely accurate as it is. And once all of these upgrades have been completed, you can actually you have another crafting step in which you can upgrade the armor to a higher level of personal armor. Now this personal armor is the crafted armor in the game. It's very likely that there will be bot armors too, or there effectively will have to be bot armors to accommodate players that don't want to go down the crafting route. But you can upgrade this through likely 5 or 6 levels based on your crafting skill and the availability of components. Obviously there will be more rare components used in the higher levels of the armor. And also there has been a new mission added called Meltdown, in which you encounter a group of mafiosos shaking down a business owner. And in that mission you will also encounter a new character who's been added, a new enemy character, the Mafia Enforcer. He's kind of like a mix of the church chaplain and the survivalist gunner. He can have either a kind of close ranged firearm loadout or a melee combat loadout, and he's kind of a more dangerous than the standard mafioso enemy. There have also been a number of bug fixes, and I'd like to say thanks to Paul for pointing out many of these. I've fixed quite a few of them for this update, so thank you, Paul, for taking the time to point out the various bugs and typos. And the last thing that I'm working on, it won't be available in this update, but it's something I'm currently working on. I'm working with a couple of voice actors now to get the character introductions voiced out. Now it won't be added in this update, but I'd expect in the next 2 updates some of the voice acting should be added, and in the meantime I will make some videos to show the voice acting along with the character illustration, and hopefully I should have the first one of them available in maybe around a week or so. The voice actors are doing some very, very good work, and I'm looking forward to showing it to you. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next time.